Hello friends, hello loyal audience. Very important, 2 points that are very important, or 3 points. Number 1 point is the Trump campaign, and they have a lot of supporters even on the Democratic side of the media, right? So when you listen to NBC or whoever it is, they're trying to spin you into a psychological zone, right? To make you think they're criticizing Trump for being so and so, when in fact they're catering or trying to sway the voters of the white community, which are the majority, right? Who are the majority, 70% at least, right? So all these media outlets are now working hand in hand in conjunction with each other under one network, unnoticed, right, in order to favor Trump in the campaign. So white America, listen to this. They're playing this Jewish thing on you, when Putin told Tucker Carlson that Zelensky is Jewish when he himself is really Jewish. They're playing this on you, right? The other thing today is they're playing the Bible, and they're playing the circumcision and right, I can assure you folks that these two, Putin and his minions here and there, are anything but faithful. These guys don't believe in Bibles or anything else. They believe in destruction. They believe in communism over anything else, really. Their communism, that is their world, that is their edifice, that is their dogma, that is their crib, that's their that's their everything to them. Communism is. That's point number one. Point number two, the platform Twitter or X, I put a couple of criticism which elucidate on the practices that CONCEDE practices to favor Trump, and my account was immediately locked, right? And then another tab was opened in the browser saying that track me and so on and so forth. So there is so much going on the social media to sway voters toward Trump, toward Trump, Twitter included. Twitter is a primary tool now is utilized primarily to favor Trump over Biden. Point number three. Now you may not like that. Those guys, the Putins, know this beforehand. Know this now. This is a fact. They will not concede the election, but they will go through it just in case they think they can win, right? But right now, it's as if they have already concluded that they're not going to win the election. There will not be enough vote to get Putin back into the White House. So they're now, this is their plan. They will probably go through the voting process, but they will not concede the election regardless. This is a fact now, and they have plans to invade the capital, Washington, probably elsewhere, probably capitals as well. Folks, you have you underestimate what's going on. There is a sinister plan and plot is in place now to invade the capital and to seize the government forcefully and so on and so forth. It's no less, folks. I told you that before, and you probably thought I was exaggerating or imagining, have like sort of active imaginations and so on. But now you see it. Now you see it for yourselves, right? It's no longer a mystery. What is in plan for Washington now? What is in plan for Washington now is leaning, converging on Moscow or with St. Petersburg or wherever, and taking over Russia. And all those minions, all those supporters who brought him into power, guess what happened to them? They ended up in the gulags. So don't buy this Christian thing, don't buy this cross, don't buy this Bible thing that is being played on you by the Putin minions. Don't buy this anti-Judaism, concealed anti-Jewish thing, right? Circumcision and whatnot. Don't buy this thing about blacks being against blacks and all that, folks, is to sway you and distract you and trick you, you white voters, to vote for Trump. It will be a sad story if he goes in there and starts eliminating you altogether. Maybe not the first day, but look at Hitler, look at Pinochet, look at Ayatollahs, look at Mao Zedong, look at Pol Pot, look at Putin and Lenin and Stalin. how they started and how they ended things, their revolution, right? Their revolution really never ended in Russia, right? I have a feeling that Putin and Trump are actual clones of Lenin. Remember this book? Simulacra, Dissimulacra, and Dissimulation? That's the foundation, one of the books that is a foundation for the movie The Matrix and its clones and so on and so forth. I kid you not, I think these guys are probably his children. Taken by way of artificial inseminations or cloning or sperms or whatnot. You know, so these two, I mean, what's his name? Putin looks like Lenin, a lot like him. You don't believe me? Go try again. So that's what I'm trying to say here is these guys will not concede the election, and they will, if they lose the election, then that's looking like chances of election of voters bringing back Trump into the White House is close, slim, closer to none actually. So they know that, and they're preparing like for that contingency or plan to really take over capital, and it will be more of a military coup. You may think they're not going to repeat last time's attempt of invading the Capitol and so on. And if Trump wasn't the president, you will have seen them occupy the White House as well. At any rate, you Americans, if you want for the United States to continue as it is, at least as it is, right? You have to go into the Capitol and defend your democracy. Those guys are hell-bent on bringing Putin back into the White House, and all your Christianity or your circumcision or all that, black, white, doesn't matter. This is no longer black and white. This is no longer Democratic versus Republican. This is no longer progressive against, against traditional or classic. This is no longer. This is no longer what you think what it ever was. Right now, this is Putin and his communism and his Ayatollah and his Shiism, that morbid occult of heretics, or Mao Zedong and or Xi Jinping, right? Heck, even the Houthis get money from Trump. Houthis, you know those Houthis, the ones who are attacking you in the Red Sea? So you 99%, you intelligence agencies, you need to prepare for that day. There will be a military attack on Washington, D.C. by gangs, by Trumpites, by shamans, maybe shamans, I don't know. But this time around, they will try to make sure that this is not the case. Fact is this, folks, these guys are not going to concede the election, right? I mean, I know from white America, I live in a place where there was a restaurant that was called after the capital of Russia, right? With the pronunciation of Russia, right? In English lettering or Latin lettering, right? Alphabet. However, the pronunciation of the capital of Russia is where it is, you know, Va, right? M-O-S, right? And when Putin attacked Ukraine, you know, started his aggression against Ukraine, which was really the opener for taking over this Anglo-Saxon thing, right? And you know, they want to do away with it and bring Chinese, Eastern China people to really become the dominant force in those countries, in the US and in Canada as well later, of course. Right? When Russia attacked Ukraine, that restaurant changed its name, completely removed it. What does that tell me? I mean, that tells me that white America is not exactly on Putin's part, but wait a minute. There is a very complex, very forceful, very vehement, secretive movement that to bring Putin back into the White House, and they're working like hell, right? So guess what? You're gonna have to be in the capital when that day comes to protect your freedoms, and so you will have to, you law enforcement agencies. Why am I saying this? I mean, you may think I'm instigating a civil war. Believe me, a civil war now that you begin is better than gulags later when they come and arrest you and take you and ditch you and trash you and make you lose your job, and things will be bad afterwards, folks. Whatever you see in the economy and in pandemics and whatnot is their work. That's the Trumps, that's the Putin's work. All of it. You suffered out of it. They are the very same people that are now coming to do whatever they want to do to you and destroy you. That day is coming, folks, and it's going to be a violent day. What do I mean by that? These guys, the Trumpites, the very same people who invaded the Capitol, or their likes, they're going to come in large numbers. They will have weapons and they will invade the Capitol. Perhaps other capitals as well. I don't know. Maybe Colorado, maybe Maine, maybe Texas, maybe, wherever they can do whatever they can do to seize control of the government. That day is coming, folks. They know they're losing the election, but they're not 100% certain about that. Yet they will not concede it, and they will fight, and they will destroy, and so on, so on, so on. You can guess all you want. You can sit down and guess all you want. By the time you wake up afterwards, if this guy goes back into the White House, within a year later, you will realize the deadly and fatal mistake you did by allowing this guy to go back into the White House. It really made me feel bad, right? Because I look at the history of the Soviet Union and of Iran and of China, communism, when communism came, and of Syria, something in Syria I witnessed myself. It's sad, folks. It's sad what they are void of humanity. Those machines of, those machines of this, right? Those clones, they're void of anything that's human. Not just void of anything that's human. There is something within their psyche about humanity. Putin, I told you before, Putin is not something that scares you when you sit next to him or talk to him. The guy he ran away from a rat, right? Rat, R-A-T. He ran away from a rat, right? So the guy is not impressive, to say the least, right? Why are these guys so afraid of him? So was Stalin. Stalin was not much different from Putin. Personality, height, cowardice, you name it, folks. Yet when people stood out in front of him, they clapped their hands and they gave that smile. But deep in their heart, they knew how to fake the smile and the clap and the loyalty. But deep in their heart, they hated him. They wished him gone, right? He knew that, but he was fine with that. Believe me, folks, Putin is no different. Trump is no different. And so many people died. Word has it, numbers has it that 60 millions died in the gulags and in the war in the West, right? In Western Europe, along with the two sister movements that bud out of the same root, right? Nazism and communism, like a vice crushing Europe, right? Outside of the gulags, so many people died right there. And then in those Central Asia stands, like 15, 16 million. And then what happened in Europe. Conservative number has it that 60 million died in that World War II in Europe. 60 million. And the two brothers, Hitler and Stalin and Lenin and, those brothers, nobody knows what happened to them, right? Putin is no different, folks. Putin is no different. I assure you. You better wake up, white America. Oh, you better wake up, black America. Oh, you better wake up. Believe me, I watch sometimes those who are on the news or on the media outlet, talk shows and so on. And they try to appear as they're trying to bring down Trump or, say some facts about him. The very same facts that they're trying to say play in the mind of the whites, try to oh, look, what he's doing is something that suits them. They know how you think, right? Don't be deceived, folks, and prepare for that day. Regardless, these guys will not concede the election, win or lose. That's it. There will be a war in Washington on that day. You better believe it. You 99% need to go there, and you need to defend your future. If you don't care about your past, defend your future. That's all I have to say. That day is coming, folks. This will be a violent day in Washington. Those Putin vanguard of the Cold War, they will converge on Washington during the election and afterwards. And they will try to make sure that they won't concede the defeat or whatever it is, right? And you delegates, and whoever you are, you better be straight. You better be straight. You better watch what you're doing, because America now is watching you. Have a nice day, my friends. I don't know what else I can say. I personally won't be affected by all that, but my emotions will be, my emotions will be, I've seen them do the killing and the mass murder and the starvation and the gulags and the denigration and the dissolution of humanity and ethics and ideals and rule of law and you don't know these guys. You don't have to go far to know what they are. Study the era of communism, which is still in the Soviet Union, right? Which is still in Russia and here and there. Study them and see what they've done. They will do nothing less. Have a nice day, my friends. And if you have any conscience in you, you know what to do coming up. This election will not go without violence, folks. These guys will not concede it. Just think about it. They will not concede it. If they lose, and they know, apparently they know that's not that's going to happen, right? Biden is riding a very strong wave. They tell you something about Biden, senile or whatever it is, right? We all do the same thing. How often at work, your boss or your colleague or all these people ask you, did you do so and so, or how about that? And what would you say? Oh, I spaced out, right? And we're young people, right? I remember hearing that and learning it from so many people, my colleagues, and we were young, right? Oh, I spaced out. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Whatever Biden is, trust me, he is your only choice now for the United States to continue. Have a nice day. Get up and fight. Get up and fight. This election, this 2024 election, ain't going down without violence. You can count on that. Those Trumpites, or Trump and Putin and Vanguard here, they will not accept defeat. That's going to happen. Law enforcement agencies, you better prepare for that. Have a nice day. Joby, you better get ready for that day, because that day is coming and you know it. These guys will not concede the election. And you guys better watch this X or Twitter. If you, right now, it is a machine for Trump. That's all they're doing, violating all kinds of laws. Have a nice day.